Carolina's Field, Forest, and Water. A closer look at agriculture in South Carolina and conversations between the current and future leaders of the Palmetto State's largest industry. Carolina's Field, Forest, and Water is a production of the student media team at the South Carolina Governor's School for Agriculture at John De La Howe.
And now here's your host, Bella Tench.
Welcome to this edition of Carolina's Field, Forest, and Water. My name is Bella Tench, and we're here at the South Carolina State Fair, and my co-host today is Miss Layne Gibson. Today we're interviewing someone who's very familiar to us. He's an alumni of South Carolina Governor's School for Agriculture, Mr. Lyle Fulmore. How are you today?
I'm good, ma'am. How are y'all?
Good. So kind of tell me what you've been up to lately.
So I actually just started Clemson. It'd probably be about a month or so ago, going into ag making business and maybe doing a little something in ag ed. We'll see how that goes, but I'm doing pretty good. But aside from my educational paralysis going into Clemson, majoring in ag making business, I'm also the Region 2 State Vice President with the FFA State Office.
Wow. Okay. So how's your time at state office been?
It's been really good. This has actually been something that I've been dreaming about for quite a few years now, especially whenever I was just, in the 10th grade as an FFA member. So this is something that I've really looked forward to, not just the title of being a state officer and the experiences that I knew that I would get from this, but just really meeting the FFA members. Because, with my experiences with past state officers, it was really those past state officers that believed in me, not only to go forward and try new things, but to go for those leadership changes and to always try to be a helping hand wherever.
Okay. So I heard from a little birdie that you have an internship. Can you tell me what about it is or where you're going?
So, yes, I actually just got selected, probably be about 2 or 3 weeks ago, to go on an international travel trip with other state officers from across the nation, from I think all the way to Puerto Rico, I believe it is. And it's actually called ILSSO, which stands for International Leadership Seminar for State Officers. And on this trip, I'll be on about a 10 to 13-day trip, traveling around Spain and Portugal, really learning just not about their agriculture in separate countries, but also the actual culture itself. So we're also going through, Spanish lessons, Portuguese lessons, actually learning what the culture is and really how their way of life is influenced through their agriculture and culture as well.
So can you tell me how your experience at the governor's school, how did it affect your life now? Is there anything anybody want to thank or anybody you just want to kind of praise a little bit?
Yes, I will actually credit to the governor's school. They really helped me with my broad network of people, with the amount of trips that I got to go on, the amount of experiences that I got to go to, and not just in the aspect that we had scheduled trips. With something that really helped with me was a lot of financial issues and things like that. Because, all of these experiences, they're great, but, nothing's free. That's something we've all had experience with. So anytime I got enrolled or I applied for a conference or anything like that, they were automatically there to help me. And that's something that's really helped me, especially having to travel or anything like that. And especially I would like to thank my ag teachers, not just my ag teachers, but also my core teachers, because, even if I'm not always with them 24/7, they're always there to give a little piece of advice. So that's something that I'd really like to credit to the governor's school, is not just the teachers, but also the staff and the faculty and everybody there.
Oh, well, that's great. So how does your experience at the governor's school prepare you for leadership in the national level and state level?
So I really think that the governor's school helped me out a lot as far as preparing me for things like leadership and things like that, especially through things, not just public speaking and really interacting with people, but also down to the fact that everybody learns differently and everybody is inspired through different aspects, through things that they've experienced before in the past, whether or not you're talking with someone who's good, talking about someone at the same age as you, you're testing to an age, right? Everybody's going to be on the same or another. They're all going to be on the same enough. Right. So, especially whenever it came down to things, the opportunities that the governor's school provided with summer camps, me helping out with summer camps, the little kids, and then you're also talking to a board of directors, or maybe you're just trying to help somebody out in your class that they're not really not understanding what's going on in the class. And that's where really those smaller skills of leadership come in handy, because you know how to interact with those kids. You know how to get down to their level, and you know how to really adjust and be adaptable in those situations.
So how has FFA kind of impacted your like career path and what you want to do when you got out of school?
Yes. So actually a little tidbit about me is that I am actually the 7th generation that we know of on our family farm in Prosperity in Newberry, South Carolina. So that's quite a lot of years. And it's something that I've really stuck with through the many years that I've also worked on this farm with my family. And it's something that's really burrowed into me is the traditional side of farming. And before I got into FFA and all the agriculture classes in the governor's school, I wanted to stay just in that traditional side of farming. And of course, as all of us know, there is so many more branches and opportunities aside from just that traditional side of farming. So one of the aspects that FFA really harps on, and something that I really like on FFA, is that they're really trying to also not just preserve the past, but innovate into the future. And that's something that I really want to go into, being a graduate from the governor's school and being all 4 years and my agriculture classes in high school, is that not only do I want to stay in that traditional side of farming and really teach people about agricultural history, but also I want to go on the innovative side of farming. I want to go in and really innovate these new designs of farm equipment that may help someone who's just a little bit older and needs help getting around their farm or getting up into their tractor, or maybe they have a farming disability and they need just a little bit help, like I said in the past, to actually up on a tractor, continue their farm, and maybe just improve production and safety, or just really innovate into the future type of kids.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being here today. Let's take it over to Miss Kelly Tash over there in the midway.
Thank you, Bella. I'm here with Anna Grace Cross, a former senior from South Carolina Governor's School for Agriculture. Why in the world are you here today?
Hello, everyone. I'm here today on behalf of South Carolina Farm Bureau. I'm serving as a youth ambassador, and I'm also a STEC intern. This year, I'm really getting to travel and advocate for agriculture education and promoting the youth and showing everyone where agriculture comes from and where our food comes from.
What is one of the experiences you could take away from today?
I don't think there's one in particular experience I can take away from today, but really just the family and the networking connections that I received at the governor's school and being able to put them used to today.
Well, thank you so much, Anna Grace Cross. It was nice interviewing today.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm back over here with the Executive Director of the State Fair, Miss Nancy Smith. So kind of tell me, how's the day been like for you? I know we had FFA Day, and we've had all kinds of stuff going on here, to be honest with you. It's been kind of crazy, but I love it.
Right, I said FFA Day is always one of my favorite days of the fair. We end on the 20th, so we're 7 days in of our 12-day run. It's been a great day, and I think everybody that's been here today and been watching the weather can for sure say we are having some beautiful weather, and it looks like it's going to be on through the end of the fair as well.
Can you kind of tell me what does FFA Day mean to you?
Oh, wow. I think if you were at the ceremony, you heard that. FFA, just in case there are some people out there that don't know what FFA means, that's Future Farmers of America. And the fair's roots are in agriculture. So that really says a lot to who we are and what we do and why we do what we do. So it just, as I said at the ceremony, it's one of my favorite days. And I think it means that much to me because I've been here for quite a while. You can probably see that from the colors of hair. But I've been here long enough to, like a generational thing, to know the young folks as they grow up, and I see their involvement in FFA and the difference that it's made in their lives and how it, instills a lot of great character traits in them, responsibility, and even the ability to do what we're doing right now, is talking to each other, which is very important.
That's awesome. So, how did FFA Day come about at the State Fair?
I don't remember what year it came about at the fair, but fair's roots are in agriculture. So with the Future Farmers of America, that's always, right where we are. We're involved in that. Things like FFA, 4-H, and as you know, as y'all certainly know, it's more important now than ever to keep our agricultural roots alive.
Yes,
and we think our 46 county exhibit and our 46 reasons to celebrate gives us a little bit more of that as well.
That's awesome. So what kind of got you started with the State Fair? How did you become Executive Director of the State Fair?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so this is a true story, but I really took vacation from a real job to work at the fair. We got lots of folks that do that. As I said earlier, fair is kind of like it's a generational thing, and I think when people talk about the fair, they think it's a tradition. A lot of family memories and things are made here. So I had a friend who was actually the superintendent in the home and craft department. That's where the baked goods are, and the canning and sewing and tatting and all of that. And I really did take vacation from my real job at that time to work for a few days in that area. And eventually I became the superintendent in the home and craft department, which was still a part-time job. And then the general manager at that time, Gary Goodman, called me after the fair and asked if I wanted a full-time job. So I started me a full-time job at the fair, booking entertainment and exhibits, and then I was advertising and marketing. Then I did a little sponsorship. And then before long, I was promoted to assistant manager, and then at 2018, I became the manager of the South Carolina State Fair. So it has a long history, and I've always said that I love the fact that I was able to see it from both sides, just one portion of the fair, as in the home and craft department, and now overall. And if you think that's not true, when I was offered the job, I thought, oh, sure, I'd love to do that. I can do home and craft, nothing to it. So let me just tell you, that's only one building. It's a beautiful building, but it's only one building, but you go from doing one building and just one aspect of the fair into thousands of them. So the fair, your South Carolina State Fair, is the largest event in the state. You're about 400,000 over our 12-day run. So you can only imagine it takes a team, and we have a great team to put it together.
Oh, wow. Now, besides FFA, what is your favorite part of the state fair?
Well, one of my favorite traditions of the fair is opening day, when we gather at the big parking lot. LMC Fair Park is on the south end of the fairgrounds. So we always go there and watch as the gates open and see all the people lined up that are just ready to come into the fair. We have one gentleman who always wants to make sure he's the first one in line, and that's about 3 o'clock in the morning this year. So I always get to welcome him, and just the feeling of knowing we're here. We're ready to open, and we're offering some of the best 12 days that folks can come and have fun in the state of South Carolina at your South Carolina State Fair.
Wow. You can't drive by the state fair without seeing the rocket, so tell me a little bit about it.
Well, the rocket is an icon at the South Carolina State Fair, and the story behind the rocket is that it is an intermediate range ballistic missile. It was built by Chrysler and designed by a gentleman named Werner von Braun. And it was donated to the city of Columbia in the 60s. And the reason it was donated to the city of Columbia is because its name is Columbia. So donated in the 60s, and it was in a field for many years, just kind of deteriorating. And one of our former managers thought that would be great to have the rocket erected at the fair. So in 1969, they erected the rocket at the fair for a cost of $10,000. So now you kind of know the story behind, meet your party at the rocket. It's been an icon for years. People now, in the days of cell phones, it's not as popular, but it's really kind of like a tradition. Even if you don't lose someone or you really don't want to meet someone, you really still want to page them and ask them to meet you at the rocket.
Now, what would you want, the FFA students that come through the state fair, what would you kind of want them to take from this?
That's a great question, and I think as I was looking out over the crowd today, and the fair's roots and the mission of the fair, the goal of the fair is to promote the industrial, educational, agricultural, and mechanical interests of the state of South Carolina. That's pretty much a mouthful, and it pretty much covers everything. But here again, from the agricultural side, I know they're involved in it. Most of them are all involved in it, but just really taking advantage of everything the fair has to offer from the livestock side of that. But I think more than that is just the overall difference. I hope what they take from it is what I said today, is their involvement in the fair and a sense of pride in being able to do whatever it is and bring whatever they bring to the South Carolina State Fair, and just be a part of that, and to know that their fair is committed to making a difference in their lives and in the agricultural lives of others throughout the state. And one way we do that is through, you saw that today, is scholarships. The fair is really good about offering scholarships from the agricultural arena and otherwise. So I just hope that they'll remember, the rides and the food are really good and they're fun, but the fair's roots are in agriculture. And, if we don't have food, what's produced through agriculture, we won't have a fair or anything else. So I think just the overall importance of what FFA means to our world in general, and how the state fair makes a difference in that regard.
Well, thank you, Miss Nancy Smith, Executive Director at the State Fair.
Speaking of food, let's head to Garland in the Midway.
Thanks, Layne. Here I am on the Midway at the South Carolina State Fair with Blake Arias. Today we're here with all of the fair foods such as donuts, corn dogs, candy apples, and all sorts of other stuff. Blake, what do you have to say about the fair food?
The food here is delicious. As y'all heard, there's all sorts of variety. I just gorged on cheesy bread, french fries, and a slice of cake, Oreo cake, I believe. My only recommendation is you better be packing a pretty penny.
Blake is right. Everything here is just a little bit expensive, but it is worth it. Now, Blake, you've been here 3 years, and you've come here 3 years in a row. What do you have to say is your favorite thing about the SC State Fair?
My favorite thing about the SC State Fair, well, I gotta be honest, lunch is probably one of my favorite subjects, so I do love the food here. I'm actually looking forward to my gyro, wherever it is. I believe it's behind us. But today is a special day because it's FFA Day. We just witnessed some students, FFA students around the state get some awards. I will be coming back Friday to show my goat, and I look forward to getting to some more good food.
Blake is right. Now, I wonder if anything here is healthy, but I really doubt it. But it's all right. Back to you, Layne.
Thank you, Garland. Just remember to pace yourself. We're here with a very special guest, Miss Templeton. So, Otto, we've been here, I know you've been here for like a whole week now. Today's FFA Day. Kind of tell me how it means to you and how many FFA days you've been in also?
FFA is very important to me. This is my 21st FFA day because I've been teaching 21 years now, and State Fair is very special to me because I've been coming to the South Carolina State Fair since 1988.
Oh, wow.
Because I've been showing cattle since then, and then of course with my family, and now of course with my FFA members.
Oh.
Well, what do we have represented at the State Fair?
Well, from the South Carolina Government School, last weekend we showed rabbits. Guardian Wilson was reserve champion senior showmanship with her rabbit. Last Saturday we had horses here. Emily White won a $1,000 equine scholarship from the South Carolina Horse Council.
Oh, wow.
Today we have Reese. Reese is showing pigs today in the Market Hog Project today, here showing today, and then Wednesday through Saturday this week we'll be showing beef cattle with 4 of our students, and then Thursday they're coming in with goats on Market Goat Project, and they'll be showing on Friday. And they're all showing for scholarships as well through the South Carolina Farm Bureau.
Oh, wow. So what's your favorite thing about FFA Day?
About FFA?
About FFA Day.
Oh, FFA Day?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, many things. I get to see all my friends because I don't get to see them as much throughout the school year because we're always so busy. But it's always a good day to catch up with all of them and get to see them and hang out for the day. And plus get to see all the students from across the state and other chapters, and all of y'all get to meet them as well too and get to hang out and network and connect.
Yeah.
We talked about the 46 County Showcase today, and that's one thing, y'all do get to do through FFA as well, too.
We have FFA Day one day, but we have FFA year-round. So kind of describe the FFA program at the governor's school.
Well, y'all should know better than anybody. We hit it more than anybody I can imagine. I mean, we have 4 wonderful ag teachers at our school. My side of it's animal science. We have Mr. Morton with forestry and wildlife, Miss Rhodes with horticulture, and Mr. Abrams with ag mech. But you think of all of our pathways and what all we do at our school. I think we do a wonderful job in incorporating that across the board, from SAEs through our CDE contest, through our travels. I mean, next week, besides State Fair this week, which is a wonderful opportunity for all of you, we brought the whole school today, but next week we're traveling to the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis. I know myself, we're competing in livestock judging and dairy handling, we're students, but you have so many opportunities as students that are just going there to actually see and get to be involved in that event in itself. We have students that are leaving the State Fair today and they're going to the Sun Belt Ag Expo in Moultrie, in Tifton, Georgia. And they're actually going to get to tour ABAC. On our way to Indianapolis, we're making many stops at ag farms, Virginia Tech, and other colleges on the way there, and doing other, exciting events on the way, there, to go see and do stuff, and net with the people on the way there. We meet so many people while we're here showing animals throughout the industry, livestock industry, and other industries while we're here. Look around. Y'all been probably interviewing people here today. You talked to Miss Nancy Smith of the South Carolina State Fair. That's somebody that we're going to partner with and do things with even next year. Oh, wow. That's going to lead into other opportunities and people that y'all may work with in the industry yourself too one day. I think we do a wonderful job. FFA is ongoing. It's premier leadership, career success, and personal growth, for all of us, So keep that in mind, leading up to even our Ag Fest in the spring. We're one of the largest livestock shows in South Carolina, that we have. An outdoor livestock show. We just do so much. FFA means a lot to me. I've been doing this a long time now, and we want to make sure we give you opportunities maybe that we've never had before. So we want to make sure you get those opportunities and things, that you couldn't do. So, living at the South Carolina Governor's School, think about that. In a regular high school, you don't have 1,300 acres to go have a lab every day. A lot of times it takes us sometimes a month at a regular high school to have a field trip or even a lab. Yeah. Now every day at our school we're kind of been blessed where we get to go outside and get to do these wonderful things. We get to have opportunities like this to go today. We've had a terrible 2 weeks, with a hurricane, and but yet here we are today. We just got back to school yesterday, so I'm grateful for a lot of things that we do have. So
now you talked about how much FA means to you. Kind of tell me why it means so much to you.
This is, I was in college at Clemson. I went into the career path of just animal science itself, and then for my bachelor's, and then when I decided to get my master's, I kind of found my calling of what I really wanted to do, and it was to teach agriculture education. And so it does make me very passionate about my job that I do. I really love and very passionate about, doing this kind of thing. So reaching out to y'all, helping you'll be successful in your areas or your pathways of what you want to do. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be animal science. It could be many other areas. I just want you to be successful, on your resumes and on paper, to go out and find those things in your niches. Sometimes I want to crack that shell and bring you out of your, comfort zones. That's for sure. Because it is very important to me.
Well, thank you so much today. I'm so glad to have you on our podcast today. And go have fun, and let's get it over to our special guest on the other side.
Thank you, Bella. I appreciate it. You and Layne have done a great job. I'm Tony Ballman. I'm the Public Information Officer here at the Governor's School for Agriculture, and the guy who's usually behind the scenes. But I figured it's a special occasion. I'll get in front of the camera just once. This is the McCormick County display inside the 46th County exhibit here at the Roof Building on the South Carolina State Fairgrounds. And spotlights a lot of the things that are happening in McCormick County, but I realized when I walked by this, there's nothing really about the Governor's School for Agriculture here. So, what am I going to do to remedy that? Oh, wait. I've got an idea. Pardon the hat head. We're going to get repped here. Right up top, where we should be. People will look up and they'll see the cap from the South Carolina Governor's School for Agriculture. All right. Oh, that looks real good up there. Okay. Again, you guys have done a great job. It's been a fun day here at the State Fair. Back to you in the Roof Building. Well, right back over there.
Well, thank you so much from the Midway. It has been a fun day at the fair. All right, are you ready? Yeah. So part of our 46 counties, I'm from Abbeville, so I'm going to come mark it over here. And I'm from Saluda, so I'm going to mark it over here. Got me? Okay, come on. We can't forget our mascot.
I wonder where Gravy's from.
Where's Gravy from?
Let's say McCormick.
Yeah, Delahow.
Whole Gravy for me.
There's the look. I'm going to be
We got it. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Carolina's Food, Forest, and Water. My name is Bella Tench, and my co-host today was Layne Gibson, and we're so excited for you to watch our next edition at the Sunbelt Ag Expo.
Carolina's Field, Forest, and Water, a closer look at agriculture in South Carolina, is a production of the student media team at the South Carolina Governor's School for Agriculture at John De La Howe. For more information on our school, visit our website at www.delahowe.sc.gov.